Hey guys, Super Lego Dad here, and I want to make a quick video about this awesome set from Pantasy. Pantasy actually just got a U.S. Warehouse, so they had sent me these from their U.S. warehouse, which was awesome. This is set number 85023, the Craft Brewery. I'll be honest, I don't drink, okay, but I really love building the set. I think there's so much cool stuff in the set. They just did a poll on their story, which if you want to go answer it, or you can let me know in the comments, is does it matter if they tell the piece count on a set? It's interesting. I think a lot of people, one of the things that I said was a lot of people use piece count for the price of a set, price per piece or whatever. And that's how they wager if they're going to buy it or not. Not showing the piece amount, I think, is one way to do it, but I would vote for yes, put it on there. It's not a big thing. I've always wondered, because I always made videos and said, I don't know how many pieces are in this set. I don't even know if it's anywhere in there, but this is their craft beer micro brewery set. So the craft brewery there. One thing I get told a lot is, and this is just the box art I'm showing you. One thing I get told a lot is how no one likes the figures. Okay, I'll tell you this. You look at my Lego room. Okay, I grew up on Lego. The little, the pirate. That's not the Black Seas Barracuda, but the man, I'm blanking on the name. It'll come to me. Okay, maybe it won't, but let me know. I mean, that was one of the first sets I had. I can't think of it right now. Oh, the Skull's Eye Scooter. There you go. I knew it would come to me. The little Redbeard guy from that, Captain Redbeard. Okay, I grew up on figures like that and castle figures. Obviously, I love the minifigures. I have a minifigure wall here, all that stuff. So, yes, these Pantasy figures, they're not going to look the same in my room, okay? But I'll tell you this. Anybody of my students who build them, or people that I know that kind of start their collection, they say, oh, they're kind of cool. My students will build these. If my students have grown up on Lego, they think they're weird. But I also know a lot of Lego snobs who think the mini dolls are weird. So if I was just getting into building and the only thing I bought were Pantasy sets, I don't know. I think I'd probably, stack those guys up and see them as well. But let me just talk to you about this set. Another thing that I told Pantasy on one of their surveys was the books. Okay, I'll tell you two things about these books. One, I think it's smaller. Okay, the instructions are smaller than Lego. Okay, I have no issue following the instructions. They had asked, does it matter if there's 7 pieces up here? Does it matter if there's 1 piece per step? Okay, I just saw a video or a picture someone sent me. A Lego used a whole page to show that the staff a guy was holding went on in his hand halfway up or something like that. Okay, that's wonderful, but I don't need that kind of instructions. If you ever built an old set like the Skull's Eye Schooner or something like that, I mean, all the pieces were thrown in one box. The directions were you had to figure out what piece you added, which I kind of liked a little bit, and then you went from there. So I would say these are instructions are fine to follow. Okay, here's some looks at them. Colors are fine. I like how they put the sizes of stuff on there. I know a couple companies do that. Everything's wrapped real nicely individually in separate bags for windows and stuff like that. But one thing I love is, and I know Lego does this also, is group builds. So if they send me, and this is one book, and this is the other one, and this book starts on, here I could build this top build. You know what I mean? I don't always have to work on what's previous. I like to start, a couple people that I'm building with and let them build this part. Or I'll let my son open bag 8 and I'll say, you're building this. It's the little, beer dispenser here. Okay, or whatever it is. So I encourage companies, if you're going to do some stuff, make it a group build, because the experience becomes so much better. So let me take a look at the set real quick. Okay, I give you couple things I really like. One, I don't know what these are. Okay, it's like a acrylic or plastic, but look at it. It's thick. Oh, there's a Pantasy guy back there. It's thick. It's printed on. It just looks really cool. It's sturdy. Okay, so it's gotta say right now, people say, oh, you harp on stickers. It's not a sticker, but it's also printed. So it's a printed part, and it's not a Lego piece. It's like an acrylic that kind of just sticks on there. I thought that was awesome. Okay, they have 2 of those on there. Okay, the next thing that I think is awesome is, and I'm not saying Lego doesn't do this. I'm sure someone could go and say Lego has some moving parts. But this side, okay, this little knob right here controls everything. Okay, and you can see the printed stuff on this side. All these are printed little beer canisters. Don't ask me to explain any of this stuff because I have no idea about any craft beer or drinking beer, anything like that. I drink root beer. I actually put this thing over here once because it was just I emptied it, but it was just to hold the root beer on my root beer cans when I would build and drink. I don't do that as much down here anymore. But if I turn this, okay, the gears here turn. Okay, some companies would just put gears on there for looks or aesthetics. The gears change. This down here turns. Okay, this is a brewery going here, I guess. Up in here, they got the bottles filling. That turns. Okay, now when I showed this to my wife, she was like, that doesn't turn, or whatever. And I said, oh, it does. Just wait. This turns a little slower because it's actually filling. Okay, and I thought this is so creative that this is actually like a bottle. But if I want, I just take this bottle right off. Look at that. Okay, it's like I don't know, beer bottle or something like that. But now you can see this, and I love the little dispensers that they show that looks like it's actually, oops, here we go, let me fix that. The little dispensers that show that it actually looks like it's pouring those bottles in. So that doesn't turn fast, okay, but it obviously wouldn't fill instantly, okay? So down here we have our little dispenser. Looks like that one's pouring out at the tasting station. So I really like that. Okay, I like the motion of it. I think that's the #1 seller of this set. Let me see if I put this back on here. Yep, right back on easily. Okay, so the motion of the set, #1 thing. Okay, second thing I'll say that I love about this set, I'll use these as the third thing. Okay, the acrylic prints. It's a really good build. Okay, but don't say I'm hating on Lego. Lego does not always make the backs of something. Okay, it's usually open or it's just a wall or whatever. But this, I can open up both sides of this, and I see, a little lounge room, a little office, a little worker down here, down the bottom there. And that's just, I really like that when they have the open and close hinges on the back, and you can check everything out that you've built. So, like I said, I have built, this is my third Pantasy set. This one will go in my room. Okay. If I look over here, the Opera House is from Pantasy, and the Sherlock Holmes house is from Pantasy. And I'm not going to go in there because I will have to crawl under my train station here, my train around the room. But this one will make its way in here. Amongst my, row houses or city modulars, whatever you want to call them. Ranking, I guess I would put the Opera House third. Man, the Opera House and the Sherlock Holmes both have a lot of details inside. So I don't know. They're tied for second, third, reverse them, whatever you want. But this is the #1 set that I would, if you asked me, what I want to test a set from Pantasy, which one should I try? This would be it. So I'm also working on the motorcycle one right now, but I'll tell you right now, I like this one better than the motorcycle one. So that's being built, and I'll have a review up soon for that one. But like I said, I'll give another brick company a chance. Check out Pantasy, and this is their Craft Brewery set. You can find it on Amazon. Links in my bio. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe.